Thanks for joining me here today. I'm Favor Osage, and I'm so excited that you're here. By the title of this video, you already know what we're talking about. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back. Welcome back. Like I said before, by the title of the video, you already know what we're talking about. And I'm not here all by myself. I have a very special guest here with me today. He was here for the first episode where we talked about common mistakes single guys and single ladies make. If you haven't watched the video, you need to go and watch it. You can find the link on the description box. If you haven't watched that, you might not be able to understand where we're coming from, because today we're picking it up from the red flag. The red flag we ignore in our relationship while you're dating. So we are starting from there today. Sir, welcome back. It's an honor to have you very much. Once again. So you know where we stopped off the last time. We are picking it up from the red flag.
All right. We said red flags are those traits or traces that you see in a person that you are not comfortable with. They could mar relationships. Some of them may be subtle, but they may end up becoming problems for you in future. So there are things that you need to give attention to, so that you don't end up wasting your time in that relationship with the person. A quick one. The first thing I think everyone should look at should be trust.
Trust.
Can I trust this person I am with? Can I trust this person with this or that? Or can I take the words this person say to me exactly as they have said it, hook, line, and sinker? There are a number of things we may want to be able to trust people for. And you look at those ones that affect you and ask yourself, can I trust this person with these things? So trust becomes number one. When you can trust somebody, then you may be good to go. Maybe good to go.
That's number one, trust.
Yeah. And I think another thing we should also look at is this person domineering? Domineering people in relationships tend to be manipulative.
Exactly. True.
Tend to be very manipulative. Everything just has to be about them. And it's like you get to lose your say. Somebody who talks to you in such a way that you almost do not have a say in a relationship, then you need to watch out for it. I'm not saying there won't be times that somebody would say something and you have to follow it. Yeah, we're not saying that, okay, for example, you're the lady, there is the guy. It's normal that with what we have, this part of the world where we belong to, the guy takes the lead. But like I do say, it's not always in all things. We should be able to have listening ears. But when it now comes to decision taking there, you can now say, okay, we'll follow what you have said after we have deliberated amongst ourselves. But for me, it's not even in all cases. For example, I was teaching about finances in marriage in one meeting like that. And I told them, I said, when it comes to finances, we have to ask ourselves, who is the better manager of money? If the woman is the better manager of money, at the end of the day, let's give her the money to manage. If the man is the better manager of the money, let him be the one keeping the money. But if you have a spendthrift as a partner, and you're now saying, okay, because I want to please my wife, I want her to know I respect her. You carry all your money and give to your wife, and you know she's a spendthrift. You guys are heading into trouble. So there is a balance to these things. But what are we saying? We should be able to, you should have somebody who respects your opinion as a woman, and you should also have somebody who can create direction for you as a woman. And as a guy too, you should be able to say, okay, this is direction we are going to. And the person is able to look up to you and follow you without necessarily losing her say. That is when we have respect for ourselves.
So now, there's something I came across. I think we were talking about that behind the scene. Like,
all right.
A guy invites you on a date. At the end of everything, he's expecting you to share in the bill. Is that for me, that's a red flag.
Well, if you feel you're not comfortable with it, but there are certain things that should make, how do I put it? You should make a good impression of yourself. I believe everybody should, not necessarily a man alone or a woman alone. We are going on a date. I'm inviting you out on the dates. I don't know who it is who is inviting. If I'm the one inviting you on the date, I should be ready to take the bills for the date. So please, if you're inviting somebody out on a date, take the person to a place where you can afford.
Whether the lady or the guy, right?
Yeah, because the lady can also invite you out on a date. Take the person to a place where you can comfortably afford. And I may also want to say that size up the person's appetite and ask yourself, okay, what's the maximum that this person can take? Size up the person's appetite. Okay, the most expensive thing in this restaurant or this eatery where we are going to is probably their ice cream, just for example. And the most expensive ice cream here costs 2,000 naira. Okay, if she takes a cup, can I comfortably pay 2,000 naira after she has had her meal? That is how you get yourself prepared. Not that you take somebody out and right after, you did not even tell the person before.
After you are expecting the person.
So after you're not saying we are splitting the. What if the lady didn't come with any money?
So that's a red flag.
For me, that's a no-no.
Okay.
For me, it's a no-no. It's a no-no. So let's continue. Anger management issues. Somebody gets angry unnecessarily, or so. We all have the right to get angry at things we do not like, but you get angry and you can't manage it well. That's, of course, a no. It's a whether from the guy or from the lady, it's a no. It's a no. Also, we look at traces of abuse. Not necessarily abuse this time, but the traces of abuse. A lady once told me we're gisting and we're talking, and I said something he didn't like, and he picked up a book and hit me with the book. And I said, so what did you do? He said that was where the relationship ended. Said if he could hit me with a book, by the time he marries me and he sees a stick beside him, he could also hit me with the stick. That was like, well, you should have maybe discussed. She said, I didn't want to discuss it. Okay, it's your choice.
Traces of abuse, can you liken that to be defensive? You know, some people, due to the fact that they are coming from abusive homes, so when they get into a relationship, the things they saw their parents went through, they don't want such, so they tend to be very defensive. So can you
traces of abuse? Are we talking about the abused or the abuser?
No, like, you know, there are some people, they grew up in an abusive home. They watched their mom or their dad being abused. It depends on what the case might be. So they have made up their mind. In relation, when they eventually get into a relationship, they tend to be very defensive. Before somebody raises up some, they just, you know.
Now, let's take it this way. If you are in a relationship with somebody, I believe one of the first things we want to look at is, okay, I can trust this person to some point. I love this person. You don't need to be unnecessarily defensive with the person. We are not here to fight, man. It's supposed to be a relationship. You don't need to put up, anybody who tries to put up a defense, even without you saying anything, you need to be wary of such people. You need to be wary of such people. You don't always need to go, we are not in a contest.
Exactly.
We should, even if I see that you're wrong, I know people may have such things, but even if you're wrong, the person should be able to correct you in love. So, and a situation where somebody is quick to defend, so there is just no need for it. That you can just let some things slide. And for anybody who has been in an abusive relationship before or watched people being abused and you grew up in that environment, you don't need to abuse another person. In fact, for me, you should get counsel before you start dealing with people. So, there's another thing we need to look at when it comes to red flags, and that is jealousy. I got into a conversation with somebody, and he said that if I don't love you, I won't be jealous of you. And like, okay. Said even our God said he's a jealous God. I said, okay, I have heard you. But it gets to a point where jealousy becomes unhealthy. Yeah, you need to watch out for your person. You need to like, okay, what's going on? If you see signs that you really don't like, yes, you can check, you can ask questions, but it shouldn't grow to become something that you become, like they say, you become a monitoring spirit. The person is not free around you. The person is not free to relate at work and things like that. Those are things that we should be wary of. So if you're beginning to see traces of unhealthy jealousy, you should know that something is not right, and we need to talk and we need to ask questions. If somebody always makes you the fall guy, who is the fall guy? We have